Good afternoon, everybody. How are we doing today? Thank you so much for being here. Greg, Zach, anybody else who's just hanging out? Lovely to have you here. Greg, I fully understand that you're probably going to be vanishing quite soon because, understandably, you don't want spoilers. And we are pretty far in the game, and depending on how far we get, there are definitely going to be major spoilers today. You got to 965 eggs on stream today. And no shiny? Chair, thank you for the doots, and also hello. Greg, that is terrible luck. And I'm very sorry. I don't know what the odds of shinies are, but that's terrible. Wait, Greg, I'm confused. So, when you see the no spoiler tag, you leave? I thought it was you left for games that you wanted to play, but didn't want to get spoiled. I don't always understand how Greg's brain works, but I love Greg anyway. I'm assuming it's the thing I said. That Greg doesn't want to get spoiled on good games. Anyway, while we try to figure out the inner machinations of Greg, we are going to go straight into Xenoblade Chronicles because, guys, I cannot express enough how much I love this game. It is so very good. It is so very good. I love it very much. And I hope the volume is okay. I'm sorry, Greg. I believe I'm currently playing two games you don't want to get spoiled on, because I'm also playing Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. And if you're interested in any of the other Xenoblade games, well, don't worry. I'm going to be streaming all of those after this as well. Xenoblade X and Xenoblade 2. So yeah, I'm going to be a Xenoblade streamer for a very long time. Also, bye Greg, I love you. So, last time we managed to find our way through this area with absolutely stunning music and an aesthetic that Copper loves. This is the Central Factory, or Central Arsenal, as it's called in Japanese, which I thought was
Leave it to Ryan.
And we finished this area, except for one monster. A meat monster, which is incredibly difficult. We're gonna beat it this time.
Let's not lose our heads, though.
Oh, Josh, don't worry. Xenoblade X will probably take me 9 months to a year. It's a very big game. It's got a lot more optional stuff than this does, but it's still a very big game. So, last time we fought Majestic Mordred, it went poorly. We did okay, but not as well as I would have liked. I always forget what's in there. I mean, when I say we didn't do as well as I would have liked, I mean we lost. Game seems loud. I can reduce that. Let me know if that's a little bit better. If it isn't, I can reduce it further. But yes. So we're going to take on Majestic Mordred again. I have not... I think I maybe got one level up since then. Not enough to really matter. Why do I feel more confident this time? God, that's a cool machine. I feel more confident this time because I've updated my equipment. So, Shulk, I hadn't updated his equipment since Mcconus Forest, which was a very long time ago. Probably 20-ish hours ago. In-game. So, Shulk had really, really outdated armor. Why was that not a problem for most fights? Because Shulk isn't the tank. If you've got a competent tank, it doesn't matter what Shulk's wear, because Shulk's not going to be taking significant damage. But against this fucker, you need every advantage you can get. I've also updated his gems a little bit. So, the main one here is Talent Boost. What Talent Boost does is it reduces his auto attack damage, but fills his talent gauge faster. Since it is so important for Shulk to be able to do Monado armor frequently, getting this is important. Majestic Mordred also likes using his fucking flamethrower, so I gave Shulk a Blaze Defense gem, and just overall better gear. On Rhyme, I gave him a much more powerful version of his weapon. He now has the Mcconus Driver 3, which gives him double attack 4, so he has a 20% chance of doing a double attack every time he auto attacks, as well as aggro up 5. So every attack increases his aggro by an extra 15%, which is fantastic. Upped his gear a little bit, mostly focusing for him on HP and defense. So he's also got a Blaze Defense gem to reduce that, because Ryan was struggling especially with the Blaze. And then Charla, again, just gave her a few updates, nothing major. Some extra HP, some extra ether, and these two, I can't change these gems. You know, I don't think I've ever explained that. If you see an S next to the gem symbol, that means it is a slot. You can put anything into there. If you see a U, it is a unique gem, which is stuck onto the weapon. But basically, the buff time plus is very good here, because it means anytime Charlotte uses a buff, including she's got one shot that basically shields you from all debuffs for a while. Now that's going to last for 70% longer. It's very good. Unfortunately, we didn't have any good Daze resist gems, and Daze has been fucking us up against this guy. I still think our chances are much better. Let's find out if I'm right.
Right, let's do this. Move it to right.
I don't want anyone dying now.
Where's Arthur?
Let's go.
Okay. Mega flamethrower. I'm glad I've got that Blaze Defense.
Alright, I'm feeling it.
There we go.
Okay, guys, now we're putting together.
Charla, heal you up a little bit.
We can definitely do this.
Armor up again.
Behold the power of the Monado. Take this.
Yeah, this talent boost is fucking massive. Instead of what it took before, which was about 6 auto attacks to... it used to take about 6 auto attacks to fill up the talent gauge. It now takes 4. Hi, Copper. We're also getting close to a chain attack.
We can definitely do this. I'm really feeling it.
Okay, Shulk's going to take that, which will kill him. Except it won't anymore.
I'm feeling it.
Okay. Get a chain attack in. I believe that even in chain attacks, this guy is immune to break topple days, which really sucks. Hello, Red Mage. However, I'm going to try. Yeah, he's immune to break. There's nothing you can do about that. However, I would like Ryan to increase his talent gauge, since that increases his aggro, and as the tank, that's what I want him to be with.
My turn.
Didn't do a lot, but, you know, take what you can get. Damage immunity to one party member, and 70% longer. That's very good. I did, Chair. In fact, I have a command that can confirm that. So I'm going to shield bullet. Yeah, shield bullet Ryan. Let's try to get a sword Ryan. That was 13,000 damage, which is not terrible. Hello, Paula.
Anytime, any place.
Now, I don't like that I'm missing everything. Excuse me. And here comes the Titan Stamp. And if I can't get a hit in, the end of the fight. There we go.
I won't miss next time.
Shala, don't worry about it.
Okay, the daze is bad, but not actually terrible. And Charlotte managed to heal us all in the nick of time. That was really not as bad.
Alright.
Hello, Dave. Okay. I cannot pause. Oh wait, I can pause because it's the Switch. Josh was saying the same thing. Let me reduce my game volume a little further. Oh, it's not on the list. I forgot that I had a commands command. Oh my god. The command is QT, Chair. That can either be spelled QT or CUTIE. And you can just say, who's a cutie?
Definitely do this.
Let me know if that sounds better.
This is the Mcconus power.
Keep us armored. And I also have a chain attack pretty much ready. We're dazed, but that's going to hit Ryan. And now we can do a healing chain attack, which is very useful. Zaid, thank you for confirming the incredible cuteness of Chair. And Chair, thank you for confirming the cuteness of Red Mage. So yeah, we're gonna go with as much blue as possible here. Charla is my biggest concern. I don't want to use guard shift. And I don't think I need to.
My turn.
Heal round restores HP to all party members.
Heal round.
That was lovely. Almost full health on Ryan.
Nice.
We did it. Ronaldo, lend us your power.
And armor up. This is a long fight. No matter how well you do, this is a long fight. Which shouldn't really be surprising. He's an absolutely enormous enemy. An unfortunate thing that ends up happening is that Charla ends up pulling tank duty a lot of the time. It is something I hate.
I'm feeling it.
Now we're working as one.
And as one,
armor up. Just keep... That's basically the loop of this fight, if you can. Keep using Monado armor. When you can, keep the aggro off of Shulk. Which can be tough. I'm using Ryan as a tank simply because he's got so much HP. In many ways, Dunban would be a better tank because his higher agility means he's more likely to hit. Oh my god! Why did I not even get a warning for that? Why did I not get... Oh my god, the Monado just completely didn't do its job.
Sorry. It's my fault.
That was absurd. Also, he did much more damage than he normally does, which is always good.
I'm not sure how much longer I can last.
Alright, I'm feeling it. This isn't going well.
That went very poorly, very quickly.
Ryan, don't worry about it.
Yeah, Zay, getting into that loop is always fun. Please don't get too existential, it's really not good for you.
Alright, I'm feeling it. Cool, let's do it. I'm really feeling it. This is the Monado's power. Let's go.
Armor in a chain attack is one of the weirder things I've done, but it's fine.
Okay.
Charlotte, you don't really need it. But since this is a chain attack, we don't need to worry. You just heal everybody up.
We're not finished yet.
Nice. And then... there's nothing really good I can do damage-wise. So, backslash is just my strongest physical attack. I mean, you can be insubstantial, Zayd. So... God, Titan Stamp is absurdly powerful. Mega Flamethrower on Charla is not great. Even with her... I'm going to speed this up so I can get some armor up. Just in time to reduce that damage quite a bit. Things are really heating up, she says, as there's a flamethrower burning through her body. God, Titan Stamp already? He's still going to die. God! Ooh. Hi, Cobra Kai. This is a very tough enemy. And there is very little I can do about it at the moment. However, that was good timing of Last Stand by Ryan. Last Stand is a technique that, if an attack would kill Ryan, it basically ends up healing him instead. But this guy's using so many attacks so quickly now.
No giving up now. Right. It's not over. Right. This is not good. Okay, sure.
Ryan. Use Last Stand again.
Let's go. Light heal. Okay, guys.
There we go. We survived that at least.
Teamwork is.
And Charlotte's,
I'm good to go. My right is getting better.
it's not great, but we're all alive. Temporarily. Cobra Kai, what happened the last time you were... Oh my god, 10,000 damage?
I'm feeling it. We can definitely do this.
Things are really heating up.
Oh my god! So, in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, there is an explicit status called Enraged. Where some enemies get more powerful when they've been damaged a lot. I don't think Xenoblade 2 has that as an explicit thing, but I do think it's a thing in the game. Because the speed of his attacks just increased so much. But here's the thing, I want to beat him. And I don't want to beat him by getting more levels. I want to beat him by getting more better.
I'm really feeling it.
That's good.
Alright, I'm feeling it. We can definitely do this.
My right is getting hotter.
Powering up.
I know I can beat him at this level. I've done it before.
Let's go. Bring it on.
It's tough, but it's doable.
Yeah, I'm turning up the heat. You really got through that pretty good.
We make a great team.
Man, what a bunch of jokers.
So yeah, Cobra Kai, I will be able to tell you what happened while you were gone as soon as I know the last time you were here. Which I know wasn't last week, but I also have a terrible memory.
We can't lose.
I don't want anyone dying out there.
Let me at him. Minado, lend us your power.
Let's armor up. Oh my god! He starts with Mega Flamethrower. The fuck?
This isn't going well. Alright, I'm feeling it.
No problem. If you can even vaguely remember, I can tell you what you've missed.
Everyone, let's go! We can definitely do this! Let's go!
No way.
Sir, please do not perceive me.
We can definitely do this!
I have been forgetting to armor up.
Behold the power of the Monado! Alright, I'm feeling it!
Ryan, can you please try to pull some aggro?
I'm really feeling it! We can definitely do this!
You know, it's probably worth looking into improving armor as well. It really doesn't seem to last that long.
Alright, I'm feeling it! I'm really feeling it! We can definitely do this! Let's go!
Go! Now let's come and encourage these two.
This isn't like you!
Go! Reduce my aggro.
Alright, I'm feeling it! You're really getting into this right!
Ow!
We can definitely do this!
Sir, I specifically asked you not to perceive me. I consider it very rude that you continue to perceive me. So you'll notice I'm not actually doing a chain attack here. At this point, it's kind of not worth it. Oh, the Heart of Mcconus? That was last week, though. So, basically last week we just went through this whole huge factory area, which didn't have a lot of exciting things. There was no major story, except right at the end, we finally got to the Mcconus capital city, Xenoblade, which is what we're going to be exploring today when I decide to finally get up there after finishing this fight.
Alright, I'm feeling it. I'm really feeling it. We can definitely do this. Let's go!
Super glad, Red Knight. It is a wonderful game.
Charlotte, it's okay.
Thanks.
Alright, I'm feeling it.
Holy fuck! Holy fuck! So if I don't have armor up, then Titan Stamp is a guaranteed kill. For the whole party. Not the whole party. Everyone except me.
Right. This is not good. Okay, Shulk, got it.
Ryan. Ryan, you can actually use guard shift.
We haven't lost
There's
yet.
an odd choice there, but it works.
Cycle's getting hotter.
Oh, that killed Ryan anyway. So when I said it's an odd choice, but it works, I was wrong. Okay, so we're fucked.
Make a run for it.
How far can I get in the next 4 seconds? Can I get far enough? Nope.
Go on.
The AoE is also very large. Also, I need to update something. I'm not sure why. So Myths followed me, but it still shows Shadow Mage as my most recent follow. OBS doesn't seem to update with followers off stream, but anyway, I appreciate Myths for doing that. Let me check if there are some other things I can fix. Ryan and Charla got better affinity, so we can add some skill links for them, except that Charla has no affinity coins left. I wanted to see about leveling up armor. I mostly just care... Okay, so it doesn't change the effect time, only the effect. That kind of sucks. Battle Soul, I can't level up any further, even though I would like to. I'm just going to keep leveling this up as far as I can, and then put the rest into Buster, so that if I do get an opportunity to use it, I can deal as much damage as possible. If I can't beat Mordred this time, what I'm going to do is move on, because Agneritha is fantastic and I do want to go over it today, and then come back at the end of stream, probably 2 or 3 levels higher, and try it then. Mordred is the kind of enemy who is tough when you're... He is tough when you're like 2 or 3 levels
Don't let
above
a
him.
single one escape.
Leave it to Ryan. We can definitely do this.
Exactly 3 levels higher is certainly an idea, Zabe.
I'm really feeling it. Alright, I'm feeling it.
But yeah, my focus just has to be on keeping that armor up at all times. Enough that it's probably not worth worrying about anything other than damage. Just keep doing auto attacks, keep armor up, because without armor, Titan Stamp kills us every time. Good job, Zach. I'm proud of you.
You're a lifesaver. We can definitely do this.
But also, there's nothing wrong with sleeping. I had a nap this afternoon. I hate missing.
I'm feeling it.
My rifle's getting hotter.
Okay, do not observe me, please.
We can definitely do this. Right?
The fact that I keep missing. Auto attacks fill your talent gauge. Unfortunately, they don't do that if you miss. If you block, it's fine. If you miss, it isn't. And you're more likely to miss if you've got low tension. Which makes it that much more difficult to make everything work the way I fucking need it to work.
Stay strong. Alright, I'm feeling it. I missed. Thank you. We can definitely do this.
Keep up the armor. It's all that matters.
Behold the power of the Monado.
Honestly, I wanted to increase Battle Soul. Because Battle Soul helps to fill the talent gauge. But it's...
We're not done yet.
Thanks. I'm all right now.
it's just not like, I can't upgrade it anymore. I'll admit, it's a rough technique to use, because it consumes Shulk's health in order to do that.
Hang in there. Don't give up. Heal. Alright, I'm feeling it.
Armor's almost done, and he's gonna Titan Stab. God!
Sorry.
The timing on that! Okay, he just used 3 very powerful attacks in the span of a couple of seconds.
No giving up now. I can still do it.
That super sucks.
Charlotte, hang in there.
I'm okay. Give me some space. Heal round.
Charlotte is such a good healer.
I'm feeling it.
I know a lot of people argue that you don't need a healer in this game. I do.
Protect her. I got focus. Heal.
Okay. Ryan, I really need you to be a tank.
Don't give up. I'm right next to you. Split edge. Alright, I'm feeling it.
There we go. You see, Black Matter hurts, but it's not like Titan Stab. There's nothing that hurts like Titan Step. My god.
This isn't like you.
Come on, we need you, Shock.
Yeah, all right. I'm feeling it. What? We can definitely do this.
Armor up again.
Behold the power of the Monado.
Work to get a full talent gauge.
All right, I'm feeling it. Hey,
I'm not doing too
God.
stay strong.
Oh my god. Fine. No! God damn it!
Hang in there. Don't give up. Come on, Charlotte. We're not done yet.
Thanks. I'm all
Heal. Now is the right time.
No!
We can definitely do this.
Just let me make some progress.
And nothing's gonna stop us. Right?
Okay.
Keep at it. Cheers.
And you're about to Titan Stamp, aren't you? I think probably the most frustrating thing is when he does an attack that kills two people in the party. And you don't get a warning about it. Like, one of the central mechanics of this game is that the Monado is supposed to warn you when that happens. And I understand the game can't necessarily warn you about everything, but it would be nice to get any. I've received 0 visions, I think, this whole fight. Well, there's one. You'll fucking survive, Ryan. You're fine.
I'm feeling it. We haven't lost yet.
Sorry. Give me some space. Heal round.
And now gonna attack Charlotte. Yep.
We can definitely do this.
Okay. Oh, I got the timing on that armor exactly right.
Can you still fight?
Yeah, I'm not quitting yet. All right, I'm feeling it.
I said it at the start, and then I started doing other things. My job is just to armor up, nothing more than that.
My right is getting hotter.
I'm not quitting yet.
Shoot, that's
Hey, Charlotte, if you could heal yourself, though, that would be rad. God! As I was doing it!
No giving up now. Right, let's go.
It's worth noting, Mordred is generally regarded as possibly the most difficult, unique monster. Well, apart from the super bosses, because those are super bosses.
All right, I'm feeling it. We can definitely do this.
And there are some very tough super bosses.
Sorry.
Well, I got armor out before I even got the vision.
my rifle is getting hotter. Things are really heating up.
Sharpshooter Shala. All right, I'm feeling it.
It sucks that armor doesn't avoid the daze. Which I know would be very overpowered. But I like overpowered in this case. I mean, I've got him to nearly half health. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but, you know, I'm doing what I can.
All right, I'm feeling it. Going well.
It's amazing. His talent art, Titan Laser 7, much less impressive than just Titan Stamp. which is what he's about to do. There we go. At least I'm getting warnings about it.
My right is getting hotter.
Come on! We can definitely do this! Ronaldo!
Heal round.
Okay.
Split edge!
This is a war of attrition at this point. And we are the losers of that war. Oh my god, another vision? If he Titan stamps again, no. Okay. It's still not great.
I got focus. Alright, I'm feeling it.
Oh, it'll kill. No. Oh, because the blaze damage. Fuck.
We can definitely do this! I see it.
This fight's difficult. Yeah, another Titan stamp. Fortunately, this time I did manage to put up the armor in time.
Alright, I'm
But
feeling
it's still going to daze, and it's going to kill Charla. You know, Charlotte, you should heal yourself occasionally. I've given you almost all healing buffs.
do this! I see it. Let's go! I'm really feeling it. Yeah, sure. Get stuck in. Alright, I'm feeling it.
My right is getting hotter.
Hey? We can definitely do this.
I must say, as frustrating as it is, as difficult as it is, I fucking love it.
I'm not doing too well.
Stay strong.
This is one of these fights where if and when you win, you feel like just a fucking god.
Come on, we need you, Shulk.
I'm alright, thank you. Alright, I'm feeling it.
Ooh, Mega Flamethrower is one of the meaner ones. Just because it's damage over time as well.
I can't. Go on. Not good. I'm losing it. We can definitely do
I'm actually going to shield just because it makes me take 0 damage. Well, 1 damage out.
this. This isn't going well.
Rather get Charla up.
Hang in there.
I'm okay. I'm good to go.
Hey, Shadow
My
Eye.
right is getting hotter.
We can definitely do this.
Armor up.
Just what I needed.
And Titan Stamp.
I'm not doing too well.
Hang in there. Don't give up.
Whoa.
Hey,
Now!
Not having a tank is massively problematic.
stay vision.
And this is the end of it. I very much doubt I can survive this.
Go on. We're being picked up. Alright, I'm feeling it. We can definitely do this.
Unless I armor in time? Nope. Okay. So I was right. I just saw something there. It's much less clear than it is in Xenoblade 2.
Nothing's gonna stop me.
But in fact, the reason he gets more difficult is because he does become enraged. It's just called crazed in Xenoblade 1. So yeah, he does get stronger and faster after you get him below 50% health. Is he possible to beat? Sure he is. Is it going to be fun to watch on stream? Definitely not. So, let's switch up our party while we go to Agnertha. So, Agnertha is the capital of Mcconus. I think Melia is the person who probably knows most about capital cities. And as the person most closely resembling a Mcon, I think Fiora would be a good person to bring along. Does it hurt that these are the two girls who most like Shulk? No. No, it doesn't. I actually just want to look something up. Because there's something that I've believed for a long time. And I just want to confirm it. Yes, I was correct. So, this is Agnertha, the Mcconus capital city. And it is the most appropriately named place. Because the word capital derives from the Latin for head. And this is in the head of the Mcconus. It is literally the Mcconus head city. Once again, we can look out at the Bionis there. You can see that horn on its head. We can see that in many places, this is open to the sky and the sea below. And there is something strange over there. Some sort of statue by the looks of it. An item I need. We need to find 5 of these fairy tale diode things, right? Will these really help Agnertha look beautiful again?
So this is the Mcconus capital?
Yes, Agnertha. The heart of the Mcconus civilization.
It looks so desolate. Like there are no signs of anyone living here.
It truly is a soulless city.
Here, bad place. Ricky want to go.
So the Mcconus built this whole city? Not too shabby.
It looks like the buildings have been here for a very long time.
Look, Shulk. Dino beast. Dino beast eat city.
A dino beast? Here?
But how?
It is a Telethia. It looks like it's stone. Why would there be a Telethia in a place like this?
The fossilized Telethia are what remain of the beasts that attacked the capital in the ancient battle.
Why did the Telethia attack your city? Wasn't the ancient battle only between the Bionis and the Mcconus themselves?
The answer to your question can be found in that tower, the data center. It is better that you see with your own eyes. Only then will you truly understand what happened between the Bionis and the Mcconus.
One thing that's worth remembering, and you can see it best on the affinity chart actually, for the hidden village. The Mcconus are old. Voltac is 2,832 years old. Most of them are over 2,000 years old. Rizaka is pretty young at 1,800 years. Porphyria is over 3,000 years old. I don't think he's on the list, But Egil's father claims to have been alive when the Bionis and the Mcconus fought. So, yeah, a lot of the Machina have memories of that time. Or, if not direct memories, then rather than legends, like what the Homs, the Nopon, and the Hyentia have, they have their parents' and grandparents' stories, which is much more direct. I also think this place is beautiful. It doesn't have the gears that Copper so adores. But I think the design of this is wonderful, and you can see what appears to be almost an enormous shrine or church in the center of the city. It also has lovely music, but there's no one around. The only quest givers in the city are these terminals. Some Mechon are out of control and ignoring their orders. They must be neutralized. So, as in every location, there are the monster hunting missions, which are always worth picking up. They don't give you any experience for completing the mission, but they do give you a bunch of money, which is always worth getting. This guy also wants us to kill a unique monster. I think a couple of them, actually. So Mechon are in possession of excess power. Mechon must have equal power. Victory can only be assured if all individuals follow orders. You know, if you want to see excess power, there's a fortress unit called Majestic Mordred that I might want to point you towards. Since these are all in one location, they're easy to pick up very quickly. Samples from the small Telethia that attacked Agniratha are required. Investigate the 4 specified Telethia immediately. So they want me to investigate these various Telethia scattered around the city. Agniratha must be restored to a state of perfection. I actually find this kind of sad. No one lives here, but these machines are still carrying out their duties as best they can. They want to restore the city. The problem is, who's going to do the work? There's no one here. This machine has this task to, to look at the city, to identify what materials are needed to repair damaged structures, but there's no one to fix those damaged structures. New part S's and fairy tale diodes required. You know what? Pluralizing new part S looks terrible. Once again, a couple of items that are needed. As these are more unique monsters. Cool. Remember Wise Grammary, just because it's such a weird name. And more monster killing. There are no really interesting side quests in this area, just because there's no one to give them. And there is a store. Nothing here is particularly good. I say that while this is significantly more powerful, but Melia barely does auto attacks. The Karma Blades are much worse for Fiora. I'm more interested in the drones for Fiora. But no, there's nothing particularly good, unfortunately. I was hoping this would have some art manuals. And we head up. Apparently, we will understand more when we get to the top. Which is a long way. Before I go there... Heck, the doors are locked. Fine.
It looks like the power's up and running.
Fiora, what's the matter?
Everyone, follow me.
Oh, red eyes. That's very good.
What is that?
It looks like it's here. But it's just an image.
No,
Because I've never seen holograms.
Whoa, you're right.
These are memories of a time long forgotten.
Fiora.
Hey,
They were left behind by the Mcconus before they abandoned this place, so that others may know their story.
Her voice sounds like...
In ancient times, when the Bionis and the Mcconus came into existence, I was born as well. Just as the Bionis had a soul, I came to exist in this world as the soul of the Mcconus. I created my children on Mcconus and acquired this body. They called themselves Mcconus, and Mcconus was transformed into a world brimming with life. The Mcconus gave rise to an advanced civilization and built this great city.
This city?
Can't believe it used to be so lively.
They lived their lives in peace and harmony. The gentle Mcconus worshipped me. Life also flourished on Bionis. The Mcconus generously shared the fruits of their civilization with the peoples of the Bionis. They believed their two worlds would grow hand in hand. Then, a terrible fate descended on them from above.
Is that... the Monado? But why? Why would the Bionis...
Wielding the Sword of Light, the Bionis attempted to destroy the Mcconus.
Telethia!
I tried to save the Mcconus and confronted the Bionis. And so, I confronted Zanza.
Zanza?
The battle waged on and on. Even as our life forces depleted, Zanza and I continued to fight. However, it did at last come to an end.
The giant.
This is when Zanza was imprisoned.
Taking advantage of my final blow to the Bionis, its beings took Zanza and sealed him firmly away. However, the battle with Zanza had greatly consumed my life force. I warned the surviving Mcconus that the Bionis had not yet been destroyed, and that one day he would be released.
I'm the one who released him.
I then entered a long and deep slumber, in preparation for Zanza's inevitable reawakening.
It's all clear to me what you wanted to do. Stop the battle between the Bionis and the Mcconus.
Fiora, I see now. It was her inside you.
Yes. Lady Mayneth desired a body in which she could be free. And after you were captured by Egil's Mcconus, it was I who transferred her soul into your body.
But why did it have to be my body?
Because you are close to Shulk, the heir to the Monado.
It was all because of our world, because of Bionis, that this city was devastated.
Now I understand why Egil would want to stop the Bionis from reawakening.
I get it too. But how's killing any of us gonna solve his problem?
Precisely. What happened to the Mcconus was a tragedy. But we cannot forgive the Mechon attack on Bionis.
What worries me is the Monado that the Bionis used. It's no different from how the legends describe, but still.
It must hold a deadly power.
But you have used it wisely, Shulk. It has not overwhelmed you, as it did me.
He's right. If you hadn't been using the Monado, we wouldn't have lasted 5 minutes.
But it was Zanza who bestowed this sword upon me.
However, it is not Zanza who now wields the Monado. It is you, Shulk. That is also the reason why Mayneth chose Fiora as a vessel, so that the tragedy of he who wields the Monado would not be repeated.
The tragedy of he who wields the Monado.
Shulk, believe. Believe in the path you have chosen.
and those who walk it with you. Mayneth once said this of the Monado. The Monado is not simply a unique weapon. It is the light within each and every person in this world.
Light? What do you mean?
It is the light of life, the will to survive no matter what. Perhaps Lady Mayneth was drawn to your light. Beyond there lies the Mayneth Shrine. Egil will be there. Is it still your intention to defeat Egil? That has not changed.
We understand the history of Mcconus now. If he is willing to listen, we will try to reason with him. But if not...
I understand. Then, if that is your decision, so be it. I will try to persuade Egil one last time, but I am prepared for his refusal.
Vinaya.
I know I was quiet for a long time, but I wanted to let that play out.
I know Vinaya said she'll try to persuade him, but she didn't sound confident.
We have to go after her.
But how do we get to the shrine from here?
Up ahead is a transporter leading to the shrine. But it's inactive. We need to trigger the verification devices to activate it. We'll find one at the top of each of the 4 pillars. If we trigger them all, we can use the transporter.
How Fiora know that?
Mayneth's memories. She tells me these things.
Do you know how to trigger them?
Maybe my body itself is the key.
Okay. Then let's get searching.
So one of the things I love that this game does, and I mean, I've made it clear that the answer to that is just about everything. But one of the things I love most, let's say, is the way the history of Bionis and Mcconus unfolds. When you see the game's opening cutscene, all you see is there are these 2 godlike titans. They fought. It's not presented as really either side being good or bad. It's just there are these 2 beings. Sorry about that. My cat, Gummy, pulled out my Ethernet cable. Buffering should stop. I'm still dropping a lot of frames. No, it seems better now. No, Josh, I was. My cat, Gummy, knocked out my Ethernet cable. So my bitrate dropped to 0. That is something I'm going to have to find a more permanent solution to. It should be better now, Josh. But yeah, in the very opening cutscene, it's not presented as something with good guys or bad guys. It is just a thing that exists. Yeah. I didn't say anything after that because I saw my bitrate plummet. So yeah, you're presented with the story, and it feels like myth. And one side is very clearly mechanical, one side is very clearly biological. And so, you know, when you find out that that the main character is living on the Bionis, you know, you side with the Bionis. Then, when the Mechon attack, it becomes very clear, like, Mcconus itself becomes an icon of the Mechon, and so Mcconus becomes the symbol of evil in the game. And it stays that way for a while. But then you meet the Machina, and then you come here and you learn the history. And, like, the Bionis struck first. At least if what we saw up there is to be believed. The Bionis struck first, the Mcconus were peaceful, and the Mcconus only ever fought back in defense. And so suddenly, who the bad guy is a very vague thing. But you still have to work with the knowledge that Egil did send machines to kill... God, this looks cool. Egil did send machines to kill your friends and family. So... like... yes, Fiora technically survived. But... there are a lot of caveats to that. And a lot of people didn't. Like, thousands of people died, and that... you can understand why even knowing why things happened, especially people like Dunban, are nowhere near as excited to forgive as Showcase. But yeah, as I said, I love the fact that who is the villain. That changes a lot over the course of the game. And so now we're in a situation where, like, obviously we have to do something about Egil. Correct, Josh. It was Zanza the Giant. And in fact, it was the High Entia who ended up sealing Zanza in the in Prison Island. And so more and more you have to think, is the villain just Zanza himself? But you can also understand Shulk's concerns. He is wielding the weapon that... He's wielding the weapon that destroyed so many lives.
Your turn. Okay, my turn. We did it! Not venture enough. I'm gonna go all out. Summon, do it! I know I can. Let's focus our efforts. Understood.
Sure, Cobra Kai. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Everyone,
Oh, after all my trouble with Mordred, this is so pleasant and easy.
Right, let's keep going.
Sword Drive is a nice thing to be able to upgrade. You know what, Josh? Yeah, that's a very good description of it. Because it was Zanza alone who attacked. So, Sword Drive is Ryan's most powerful single attack. To give you an idea of how powerful it is, Backslash from Shulk at level 7 does less than 5,000 damage. Sword Drive at level 4 does up to 6,000 damage. But now, we can upgrade it further. And now it can deal up to 7,500 damage. You put this in a chain attack, where you can get up to 5 times, and this single attack can deal absurd amounts of damage, even to the strongest enemies. It's great. But yeah, as you said, you have a tyrannical leader who attacks, who admittedly kills, I'm not sure how many, potentially thousands of people, who commits genocide, and one of the survivors decides to take revenge on the nation, even though they did their best to deal with it. Is he wrong? Yes. Can you understand where he's coming from? Also, yes.
We've definitely gotten stronger. Let us remain vigilant.
I want to just check. Yeah, I thought so. Unfortunately, what's her name? Melia. I can't believe I forgot. Melia does not have, or at least I don't have her using any of the Mcconus equipment. Which I should have been doing a while back. Because when she's on AI, unfortunately, I wish she didn't, but she does use... she does auto-attack. When I control her, she never auto-attacks, because why would she? That is not her skill set. I'm gonna give her a bunch of Electric Plus, because Summon Bolt is her most powerful attack. I also adore the music in Agneritha.
Everyone, let's go!
Good luck, everyone. I expect nothing short of our very best. Summon Bolt!
I'm really feeling it.
Yes, no.
Let's focus our efforts.
Very well. Understood. Right. On scene. Pretty good. Your actions impress me, Lord.
I'm using chain attacks here because it improves party affinity really nicely. Xenoblade 2 has the most incredible music.
My turn.
Like, the whole series has amazing music, but good lord, Xenoblade 2 goes hard. So, this dude wasn't here initially, but he came downstairs. This is a mass-produced face. So, a 4 times Monado Buster doesn't even do half of his damage. Half of his health. These dudes are tough.
Alright, I'm feeling it. We can definitely do this. All together now.
And they're the same level as me. So they are able to do damage. Not a ton.
Building within me on. I see your strength is the genuine article.
It's fine, Cobra Kai. We've all got that friend. I say that, we don't. Mostly because I don't have friends physically close enough to me to do that. But I'm glad you're here. It's shiny. God, look how pretty this is. I understand it has to be like this for the sake of the lore, but I wish you could see this city in its heyday. I wish we could see people living here. We have to examine these Telethia. Given that we've done most of the side quests, nothing other than particularly strong unique monsters is going to be much of a challenge.
Leave this fight to me. Display no mercy.
If you're ever playing this game and you've done a bunch of side quests and you're not having fun because it's too easy,
We've definitely gotten stronger.
one thing I would like to just draw attention to, I have before, but I want to do it again, wrong screen, is expert mode. So if you turn on expert mode, you can adjust character levels. You can bring Shulk down to level 60. And it shows you all the adjustments you'll get. That's not a permanent change. You can see there that he's got nearly 700,000 experience. I can bring him back up to level 67 at any time. It's just a useful thing to have. Keep in mind, if you turn on expert mode, then you don't automatically get experience from side quests. You get experience from combat, but not from side quests. It all goes here, and you can adjust your level as you like. This is a feature added in Definitive Edition, and it is great. Because the first time I played this game, as much as I adored it, the final boss was a fucking pushover. Because I'd done every side quest. So even the final boss could barely damage me. I say every side quest. I don't think I'd done all of them. But yeah, I was so much stronger than the final boss that the game just wasn't fun. Whereas now, I can do all the side quests I like, and adjust my level to be appropriate. Which is what I intend to do. I just think it's a lovely feature in a game that can, frankly, get a little too easy.
What? Just because we're girls, we're supposed to be wimps? How rude.
Quite. I'm afraid you have much to learn about the fairest sex, Shulk.
Why do I get the feeling that mastering the Monado is going to be easier?
Good lord. I've never heard that little bit of banter that they have.
We win! But we cannot be reckless. Let's press on and on and on!
And as with most of the... Oh, experienced Tristan. You know, that's a very interesting map. They're all of the form adjective map. But experienced is an interesting adjective because it suggests that this Mcconus is more powerful than others just because it's fought more things and survived. And I kind of like that. Because that's how we as characters get more powerful. So the idea that Mecon could get more powerful that way is interesting. Well, that went well.
Your turn. Alrighty. Spear's blade. That was great, guys. Was that too much? We can do it. I know we can.
It's over.
Right, let's keep going.
Let us remain vigilant.
Okay. And once again, an actually competently leveled enemy.
I expect nothing short of our very best.
I'm gonna go all out. 1, 2, cross it. It's wonderful to be with everyone.
Your words ring true, Fiora.
I feel the ether building within me. I feel
One thing I do appreciate about this game, just from a gameplay perspective, this one's much less from a lore perspective or anything. I like that the Mechon are established to be machines of war. The reason I like it is because you can still kill them without feeling bad. These are not the Machina. These Mechon are not people. Which is good. Because otherwise it would feel super shitty. Did I ever examine that Telethia, which I was supposed to do? Looks like I did.
I expect nothing short of our very best. I'm gonna go all out.
I'm really feeling it.
Do not hesitate.
Go.
Okay, guys. Now we're pulling together. Looking good too, Fiora.
Chill gloves, Fiora. But also, why would you say that? Melia is right there. Oh my god, she'll be so mean. Especially since Melia is obviously desperate.
Should be okay if we fight like this.
And there is here a much smaller statue of Maynard. Oh, this is the first time I've noticed. The head of this statue has been destroyed. Which is really nice symbolically. Maynard is the soul of the Mcconus, and the capital city was destroyed, is abandoned. And so, yeah, that's a really nice bit of symbolism. Also, you can see up there where we're meant to go, but we need 4 lights before we can go forward. Wise Grammary, level 68 with a spike. Is horrible. I'm immediately going to purge him to get rid of that spike. And then I'm going to focus on just keeping him purged. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Sorry.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! That went about as poorly as it could have gone. I died faster to him than I've ever died to Majestic Mordred. Time for my party with an actual healer, methinks. Again, I could come back later, but I don't need to. I should be able to beat him out.
We can't lose!
I don't want anyone dying out there.
We can definitely do this! Powering up, and nothing's gonna stop us. I'm really feeling it. Alright, I'm feeling it.
Ow. There are also gems for spike defense, and they're useful in situations like this. That topple is so mean.
Wait, don't rush off.
I just gotta keep purging. That's my job at this point. You know, Charlotte, your healing leaves something to be desired. Shit! Oh, I just did shit.
Stay strong.
Oh. Again, though, with Charla and Best Boy Tank, it is much easier to pull off a difficult fight like this. Oh god, that topple is so fucking mean. That cancelled out my purge? What bullshit is this? Starting the chain attack cancelled my purge.
My rifle's getting hotter. We're not finished yet.
Okay, my turn. Battle soul. All right, I'm feeling it. Keep it up.
Okay.
And let's heal up short. That wasn't great.
We did it. We can definitely do this.
The fact that the chain attack cancelled out my purge is just the worst thing. Honestly, I'm doing okay. You know what? That big combo? You weren't lying. That's kind of a big combo. Okay, it's got strength up, which is not great. Big spin is bad.
You're really focused. Come on, light heal. Right, I'm powering up. All right, I'm feeling it.
Yeah, we're gonna get toppled.
Sorry.
God, Charlotte's gonna die. Okay.
Here we go.
We should do a healing chain attack, but I'm going to go for a damage one instead.
My turn. My rifle's getting hotter.
Damn it! I was hoping for a for another portion of the chain.
We can definitely do this. Now I see it.
Charlotte, it really makes me sad that you're not healing our tank.
Gotta cool off.
All right, I'm feeling it.
Good to go.
Still, we're doing okay, and we're probably going to win. Oh shit! I beat him without the chain attack.
Here we go.
It was very difficult.
Split edge. I know. War swing.
My turn.
See, that's what I wanted to happen before.
Okay, guys.
But it matters less now. Ooh, ×5 sword drive?
All together now.
You said it, Shulk.
That just eliminated that guy's health bar. ×5 sword drive completely destroyed him. It is amazing how good that gets at high levels. Anyway, back to the party I had before, because I do still like it. Also wanted to check, I got new weapons for Fiora. Honestly, not worth it, especially not when these have two super good gems. Yeah, nothing great there. But Fiora can upgrade Spearblade. Which is nice, because that's actually one of her... That's a really good attack for her. I'm actually going to slightly switch up my party to the original one. This is the first trio we had in the game. Shulk, Ryan, Fiora. Part of the reason I want to do that is because Fiora's got an attack that does 3 times damage against toppled enemies. Well, up until this point... I said it, not up until this point. With Melia in the party, we didn't have any way to cause toppling, even if we achieved break. Whereas now, we can break topple, and now Spearblade, which is currently her most powerful, also does 3 times damage. Not as much as I would have liked to see, but it'll do. Where's your side, buddy? There's your side. I'm just gonna armor up. It's not as important as with Mordred, but it's still worth doing.
Looking good too, Fiora.
let's fill up that talent gauge.
It's up to you.
My turn. Spear through. That was great, guys.
Perfect.
1, 2, cross it.
I'm powering up. Now it's right time. Bring it on. One down. Let's get in there, Shulk.
Way to go, Shulk.
That's one we also needed to destroy.
We win. Good thing I'm here. No? Anyone?
Let's press on and on and on.
There are a lot of Mcconus.
Feels good, right?
Which is interesting. You would think that there would be no reason to have Mcconus in an apparently abandoned city. There is a reason for it. The reason being, as has been made clear,
Should be okay if we fight like
Egil
this.
is still here. And Egil wants to be protected. From what? From everything.
We can't lose.
Good luck, everyone.
Let me at 'em. I'm really feeling it.
1, 2, cross it.
You're really getting into this right. You're really getting into this right.
Always good to get a top one.
Here we go. Split edge. I know.
Let's get a sword drive. It's only times 2, but it's still enough to completely tear through that health bar.
Well played. We did it.
Blood-stained face is still such a terrible item to get.
Everyone.
Remembering that there are people in those machines.
To Ryan. Shadow Eye.
That is unfortunately something that is addressed in the game, but never really dealt with.
Okay, let's finish this.
Once Egil begins completely brainwashing the face Mcconus, you don't have a choice but to destroy them.
And nothing's gonna stop her. How do you like that? Nicely done.
Well, we somehow missed the second control platform. We pull up a map of this place. Lower levels will be better. It's actually very hard to see the geography because there's so much of the map that I haven't filled in. Okay, so I wanted to show you kind of the geography, but I can't do that at the moment. But you can actually kind of see it. If I go up and look out, you can actually kind of see it from there. You can see that there's this long central bridge with a couple of breaks in it. And there are a few towers scattered around. And those towers tend to be where the verification devices are. At any time, we can come up here to where the teleporter is. but we can't do anything with it until we have finished activating all the verification devices.
You're really getting into this run.
That's gotta hurt.
Be alright. Get in there.
I'm gonna go all out.
It's over. Good thing I'm here. No? Anyone?
We've definitely gotten stronger.
Oh shit, I'd forgotten about this dude. He is not as difficult as Wise Grammary. I think Wise Grammary is the toughest non-boss in Agniritha. Slight spoiler there. There is a boss in Agniritha. But this dude is still gonna be a bit of a challenge. Potentially.
Right. Let's do this. Let me at him.
I'm gonna go all out.
Hi, Cobra Kai. Glad you're still here. Or possibly, hi, Cobra Kai's friend. It's hard to tell. Either way, happy to have you.
It's over.
We've definitely gotten stronger.
Good thing I'm here. No? Anyone?
Okay. Let's take this dude up.
Let's go!
Leave this fight to me.
You're right. Glad you're around. I'm really feeling it. Get stuck. Now it's right time.
You know, I love that emote so much. I'm not ashamed to admit, I adore my own emote. Heck. He moved.
You're out. I know.
Let's just go for Sword Drive.
Alrighty.
Ooh. Sword Drones is going to be nice. It is a 10-hit combo.
That was great, guys.
Which is good at all times, but especially now. Armor up, because Ryan is struggling a little bit to keep his health up. And let's shield.
Nothing's gonna stop me. Here we go. Split edge. You're out. Go.
Slit Edge into Sword Drive,
Okay. My turn.
into Double Wind. I was hoping for another Link.
That was great, guys.
Nicely done. Take this.
I've said it before, say it again. Chain Attacks is a place where I think Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is, like, objectively superior to the original. Because in Xenoblade 2,
Go all out.
there is no randomness to whether you get another chain link.
We can definitely do this.
It is a well-explained mechanic, and if you do it right, you can get absurdly long chain attacks every time. Whereas here, there is a significant chance of randomness.
Feels good, right?
Yeah, well played. We did it.
Improving character affinity is the best way to increase the chances of a longer chain attack. But it is still just increasing those chances. Chain attacks in 2 are fantastic. And in the DLC for 2, Torna, they're even better. That shouldn't be a surprise, because Torna is the best Xenoblade game. Yeah, we can come here to the Shrine Transporter at any time. The Transporter is not active. I just wanted to draw your attention to how amazing this area looks. And that over there should give you an idea of how big that statue of Meyneth is. Because that's pretty far away. Yeah, look, I like that Torna was available on a physical card. It made it feel more substantial. Also, it's like 15 to 20 hours, which is that's a lot of just full price games are that way. Soothed Aglovale.
Let me at him.
Leave this fight to me.
I'm really feeling it.
Go you! I'm being
Now it's right. Looking good too for you already. I'm turning up the heat. You're really getting into this, right? Eat this.
Ow!
Right.
You know, I'm still gonna keep using armor. It has 0 disadvantages.
Alright, let's focus our efforts. Not a problem.
Okie dokie.
Get up. Fiora. Glad you're around.
Yes! Let's daze him.
Alright. We can definitely
And let's chain attack.
take this. Right. You're up. Yo.
Backslash. Ooh, do I go for pure damage or do I try to topple him again? Oh, Josh, definitely. Xenoblade 2 is great, but as I said, I consider Torna to be the best Xenoblade game, period. It takes everything good about 2 and makes it better.
My turn. Double wind! Your history! We did it!
Teamwork at its finest. Okay, guys. Now we're putting together. Now it's right time.
Let's armor up again.
Right. Leave it to right. Yeah! Right. I know.
Just for Fiora's sake.
Okay,
Because that triples the damage of Spear Blade. There we go, that's what I was looking for. How come I can't use Monado? I thought it was full up. Oh well. Apparently not.
This'll leave a mark. Shake your edge. How do you like that?
this is how we do it.
And for those curious, yes, I plan on playing Torna as well as Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on stream.
Everyone, let's go! Alright, here we go!
You know what? Slim, that's actually probably the correct explanation. At that point, he definitely wasn't feeling it.
I know you can.
We've almost got
Shit, these dudes have a topple spike? That's incredibly mean.
This is the Monado's power! Monado's right.
Topple spikes are the worst thing in this game. I mean, spikes in general, But topple spikes are just the meanest spikes. And just for you, Ryan. It's so nice to see Ryan sword drive a dude into oblivion.
That was great, guys.
I didn't even know this dude was dead. I like that this dude's name is Defensive Shame, because that feels like something a therapist would say.
Yeah, I feel it too.
Not bad.
Oh yeah, Slim. Ryan with... So, Ryan now has his most powerful attack, Sword Drive, at the highest level. Which means that... that it can deal up to 7,500 damage in a single hit. Which means in a chain attack...
Oh, yeah.
Very appropriate, Lizard. Which means that in a chain attack... Sword Drive can potentially deal, like, 5 times that? That's before any buffs. It is just an absurdly powerful attack. Yeah, we're getting to the big numbers territory. You know, Lizard, I hope you know you're very good. Everybody in chat is, but I hope you know that you're very good. Boosts physical defense when HP is at half. Don't you cease me. You know I'm right. I can't tell which side is your face, sir. Not this side. Good. Also, Lizard, how are you? I last saw you during Red Mage's stream.
Okay, Ryan. I'm turning up the heat.
Don't get carried away,
We
Ryan.
got through that pretty good. Let's not lose our
We
heads,
did.
though.
Right, let's keep going.
Bizarrely, I'm going to leave Agniritha for a moment. I want to fight Mordred. I've gained 2 levels. I think I can do it now. One thing I do want to address. Very, very weird thing about the Central Factory. The highest place we've been is the 4th floor, the Agniritha Transporter. But there's a floor 5. We just haven't been there and can see no way to get there. You know what, Lizard? It's going very well. We've discovered that the whole history of the world is much more nuanced than we realized. Basically, who we thought were the bad guys are maybe just seeking revenge justifiably against who might actually be the bad guys, which is us. Well, not us, but the Bionis. It's a whole thing. I've made it clear on several occasions that I adore this game. That has not changed. And the story is one of my favorite aspects. The one thing I want to check. Okay, previously, for those who were here from the start, or even last week, Majestic Mordred's name had a yellow background previously. Now it's brown. Enemy, basically that color indicates how powerful an enemy is compared to you. At black, they're super weak. At blue, they're slightly weak. Brown, they're about the same. Yellow, significantly stronger. Red, incredibly strong. But it's more than just that. Yellow and red enemies get further buffs over you. Part of the reason I was struggling so much, I suspect, is because of the fact
Don't let a single one escape.
that he was listed as yellow. Now that he's brown, the main thing is that he should be easier to hit, which was a big part of what we were struggling with before. Because when you face a yellow or red colored enemy, you get a further agility debuff. And agility works for both dodging and accuracy. So I'm hoping that at level 68, I can do what I could not do at level 66. And already I'm finding it much easier to maintain my talent gauge at full. To keep armor up so that when he does fucking Titan Stab, which is gonna happen soon, I suspect, it's not as devastating.
Alright, I'm feeling it. We can definitely do this.
And even though Shulk is my DPS character, I'm happy to let other people do a lot of the DPS.
I'm feeling it.
Because Shulk now is our buffing character. His job is to make sure that no one takes too much damage.
I'm feeling it. We can definitely do this.
There's Titan Stamp. Oh my god, the difference a couple of levels makes. Shulk and Rhine both blocked Titan Stamp, which means that they didn't get dazed by it. They also took far less damage. So an attack that was previously devastating every time it happened is now much easier to deal with. Not easy. But easy.
I'm feeling it.
And yeah, even the Titan Stamp that time. Yeah, we're all dazed. It sucks. But it didn't take that much damage because I'm managing to keep armor up at all times.
Alright, I'm feeling it. I'm really feeling it.
But I do need to encourage everybody because low tension is the worst thing in this game. It's not the worst thing. Spikes are still the worst thing. Everybody blocked that. That's so good. I love JRPGs. I love this one in particular. But I do think the most frustrating thing about them in general is how important levels are. Because in most JRPGs, your level determines a lot about how well you're going to do. this is no different. Whereas in a game like... And I shouldn't bring it up because I don't like it. But it's very good at what it does, which, whatever. In a game like Dark Souls, you can finish the whole game without leveling up. You can go into a boss fight under leveled, and as long as... I was gonna say as long as you're good. Mostly as long as you know attack patterns. You're gonna be fine. Whereas, in this, the thing that just made the difference is I'm higher leveled than it. Nothing more than that. I'm equally good at the game. I don't think that is a bad thing about the game. I think that is just something inherent to this genre. Okay. I want to do a healing chain attack. It would be lovely to do a shit ton of damage to this guy. But what we need right now is to keep people alive.
I know. War swing.
He missed every swing there because he's got low... That sucks.
Give me some space. Heal round. Okay, perfect.
We did it. Let's go. Behold the power of the Monado. All right, I'm feeling it. Split edge. How's that? Everyone, let's go. This is the Monado's power.
Mega Flamethrower is still super mean.
We can definitely do this.
Holy shit.
This is the Monado's power.
Armor, first and foremost.
Keep at it. Pull yourself together. All right, I'm feeling it. We can definitely do this.
Yeah, gotta make Titan Stamp deal less damage.
Alright, I'm feeling it. We can definitely do this.
I'm not doing too well.
Hang in there. Don't give up.
Another vision, but I managed to get armor up in time. God, that still does a shit ton of damage. You know what? Actually, we're doing okay.
I'm feeling it. We can definitely do this.
I'm just gonna keep my armor up. Nothing more than that.
Shut up. Very strong. All right, I'm feeling it.
Titan Stamp. Oh, we've got armor. Okay. We don't have armor anymore. This is a disaster. I mean, we're doing better than we were.
Stay strong.
What am I missing now? He's crazed, which is... He's crazed, which is increasing his stats. That sucks. Another healing chain attack, because that's what we need.
Now it's right.
My turn. My rifle's getting hotter.
Leave it to me.
Okay, let's try to get some damage in on a chain attack. That's nice.
Yeah. Rhyme time.
Okay. Holy shit, we've done a lot of damage. Can't keep two reds, unfortunately. Holy shit, he's almost dead.
Not bad. Did you see what I did?
We have done it.
Wasn't really looking.
Oh, come on. That's not fair.
Majestic Mordred is no more. Oh. It wasn't even for any particular item. It's just fun to beat strong enemies. And boy, is Majestic Mordred one of those. Okay. Back to Ignoritha. We finished at the second control platform. I mostly just wanted to take out Mordred before we finished stream today. And we managed that. Quite handily, in fact. Oh, I love looking out across this city. It's so heartbreaking to see what's happened to it, but I do love to see it. So a general feeling I have with this game. So much of it, I wish I could explore. Places that aren't part of the game proper, but I just wish I could be there.
Leave this fight to me.
Ignoritha has that, but I also so desperately wish I could see it with people in it. Instead of just machines. Ooh.
Here we go. Take this.
I really like how vibe.
Yeah, Fiora. Let's show them what we got. How do you like that? Teamwork at its finest.
Again, quite a morbid item. Blood-stained face. By the way, basically, this entire lower level that I'm on is pretty much optional. There's nothing you need down here.
Fiora, glad you're around. Now it's right time. Let's focus our efforts.
Okay, I did not notice this guy, and now there are several enemies trying to kill me at once. Oh, I needed to fight this guy as well. Well, needed. It's a side quest. But it's a side quest worth doing. Chain attack probably will finish it. Hello, Gold!
You're up! I know!
Gold, how are you?
We did it! Okay, just one more left. Okay, guys, that was too easy.
We've definitely gotten stronger.
Man, what a bunch of jokers.
I am so glad to hear that.
We can't lose.
I'm gonna go all out.
Let me at 'em. Okay, guys. Now we're pulling together.
Yeah, I feel it too soon.
So Gold, I don't know how much you remember. You remember the original Xenoblade? I mean, quite a bit based on how much you've helped me with Fiora. But I just beat Majestic Mordred, the meanest unique monster. Eating toast?
Right, let's keep
Toast is
going.
good. Magneritha. Majestic Mordred is... he is a unique fortress unit in the central factory. And fortress units are tough enough when they're not unique and several levels higher than you. That's where I initially came up. Oh, this does get me up there. That's fine.
Alley-oop.
Here's the thing, Gold. That's my normal strategy. But there's something about this dude that every time I've played, I have wanted to beat him appropriately leveled. There's just something about him. Honestly, I think it's just because he's a fortress unit. I love fortress units. I love beating fortress units because it's just an absurd thing. Well, I beat a robot that is 700 times my size. I have too many crystals. I have too many crystals. Chat, I'm going to do something kind of boring for a couple of minutes. I'm gonna sell all my level 1 and 2 crystals. Unfortunately, there's no easy way... There's no easy way to sell a bunch of things. It says L keep holding to sell, but that only seems to work for one item. In spite of what the game says. Like, I'm holding down L. So I'm going to sell all my level 1 and level 2 crystals. They're not worth much anymore. Even though level 2 crystals can technically make level 3 gems, they rarely do. It scrolls down the list? Oh, gold. Oh, that makes my life so much easier. I was trying to do the opposite. You know what? I'm going to sell my level 3 crystals. Good God, I've got a lot. Gold, thank you. You just saved me a lot of frustration. I wish I'd thought to do that earlier. Well, this is much easier. And my money just ticks up. But Lord, I've got a lot of these. Just keep going. Just there. There we go. Anyway, let us seek out the 4th control platform. Which, we can see a quest marker indicating that it's over there. So it's not even far away. It's down... Okay, I've already been to the Judicial District. This is what takes you up to the Shrine Teleport. So I have to go further down. I don't want to fight you. Why do you make me fight you? Nice. No, not nice. He's got a fucking topple spike. Honestly, using Purge was almost certainly overkill there, but I just hate topple spike so much.
I'm gonna go all out.
Let me at him. All right, now powering up.
Yeah, let's go, Ryan.
Now it's Ryan's time.
I feel...
We can definitely do this.
Okay. Times 2 sword drive, always nice. Times 3 spear blade, lovely.
That was great, guys.
Nicely done.
Please ignore me. I'll ignore you if you ignore me. How's that for a deal? You know what? They took the deal. I can appreciate that. Wait, you're back? You fucker. Ryan is shirtless because it is a requirement of the Himbo religion, which he adheres to. Oh, I gotta fight these guys. Not the big boy, but the small boys.
Leave it to Ryan.
I'm gonna go all out.
Fiora, really powering up. Looking good too, Fiora. Yeah, all together now. This is the Monano's power.
This is unnecessary.
Fiora. Hey, don't hog all the glory.
It missed! Monado Buster missed. This is the worst timeline.
Should be okay if we fight like this.
Haha! Of course you do, Gold. Because Wise Gremory is the worst. Because he has that permanent spike. You're not even special. You're just big. Anybody can be big. That doesn't make you cool. Yeah, you don't stand up to a sword drive, buddy.
In your face. Perfect.
Yeah, his aggro range is also kind of absurd. We can see here this part of this bridge has completely collapsed.
Leave this fight to me.
Let me at him. Run away. Yeah, I'm turning up the heat.
Go. It's interesting. I doubt it's unique to the type of enemy, but when facing a faced Mcconus, Fiora says, leave this fight to me. Which works very well, because of course she has a personal stake in you know, dealing with faced Mcconus. As I said, I doubt the line is unique to them, but it was very appropriate when it happened.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Lead the way, Fiora.
I assume that's you, Jay? Are you the twink? Or is Shulk the twink? Because I could see Shulk being a bit of a twink.
I'm gonna go all out.
But I also don't know you well enough. Perhaps you are the twink.
It's over. Let's not lose our heads, though.
We've definitely gotten stronger.
But also, hello, Jay. Well, nice. I'm glad to have a twink here. Did they just walk there to try to protect the bridge from me? The fools. I've already got the skip travel point. I actually want to just check my Collectopedia. By the way, one thing I would like to take a moment to address. I have completed the Collectopedia thus far. First time I played this game, I didn't do that. But I've been doing it this time because I enjoy it. 100% in every area so far. Except, weirdly, Bionis Interior, where I've got nothing. But everywhere else, 100%. There are benefits, but it's also just a completionist thing. Agniratha, I'm still missing a bunch of things. Fortunately, we can get all of these things over time. What I would like to do... Wait. There's a thing I need to get here? Why are you just high level enough to frustrate me? You're not an actual challenge. Jay, I'm not going to do Shirtless Shulk because there are some very important Shulk-related cutscenes coming up. And I want him to at least look respectable. Which I know is not his normal style, but... thank you, Jay.
It's not over yet. Yeah! Rhyme time! Now it's rhyme time. Yeah, well played. Perfect. Yeah, you like that? Right. Leave it to right. Perfect for a chain attack.
Ready when you are.
One thing I do want to warn people about. Please be careful not to spam multiples. So... Why did I not hear Rainbow? I'm curious about that. Well, yeah, Ryan's allowed to be shirtless at all times. But yeah, so rainbow, sparkles and stars now kind of have to be solo because of the way they're implemented. I'm not quite sure why I didn't hear the rainbow. I'll have to look into that. There shouldn't be any reason that the rainbow should like stop any sounds. I'll have to look into that.
I can feel the power.
Hey, that's a nice level. And with about half an hour left in stream, we are going to go to the worship terrace, the shrine transporter. Give me a moment. I just want to turn on my light because the sun has set and kind of dark. Okay. This is not the ideal team for what we're going into. Story-wise, we kind of need Shulk. Plus, we're fighting Mcconus. We want Shulk. I actually really want Charla here. You know what? That's fine, Jay. Your version of Ryan is allowed to belong to a different religion. But my Ryan is an adherent of Himboism. Do I want Ryan or somebody else? I mean, Fiora makes a lot of sense. I'm actually going to go with Dunban. In many ways, Dunban is the representative of the Hums. Fiora makes the most sense, but I still struggle with her as a tank. Yeah, Dunban's great. Dunban was a hero of the Hums for a very long time. He is still highly thought of among them. Oh, stream lag. That explains it. And even though it's not strictly necessary, I'm just gonna say, for no particular reason, is that not... Wait. Is that not where the teleporter is? Okay, so bizarrely, there's also a new side quest which I want to pick up. But I don't know where the quest is. Like, where the actual teleporter is. This dude's got a new quest for me. Samples from small Telethia have been analyzed. Samples from the large Telethia that attacked Eknurtha are required. Investigate the 4 specified Telethia immediately. You know, dude, I will do that. Eventually. Wait. I'm just gonna check... I'm just gonna look something up quickly. For no particular reason. Which is a slight lie, because of course, Gold knows the reason. No, I think it'll be okay. I think we're okay. Okay, so it is now. Okay. I will accept the delay. It doesn't bother me too much. Thank you for confirming, Gold. Yeah, I think it's possible later, for no particular reason. God, these things are huge and kind of terrifying. There's so few. Okay. There are enough skip travel points. You're not one of the ones I want? You know what? I don't think you can follow me downstairs. No, it is on this level. I'm just trying to think of the ones you mean, Gold. See, that's where I'm trying to get. I went the wrong way. It's possibly a slight spoiler. Can you describe... Yeah, can you, like, describe the area in... Actually, there's only, like, one area that is a spoiler name. Oh, no, you're completely correct, Gold. Yes, yes, this is actually very reminiscent of that. It's not that uncommon, Jay. I welcome all lurkers. You know, I shouldn't have come up here. God, stop following me. It is... The area that Gold is talking about is slightly spoilerish. Oh my god, leave me alone. Thank you. Although, frankly, its name isn't, now that I think about it. There are one or two places whose names are spoilers. Because, like, simply knowing that they exist, well, simply knowing that you visit them in the game, is a spoiler. This isn't one of those.
I can see this isn't pushing you at all.
Honestly, Jay, I like to be extra careful of spoilers, because they can kind of ruin a game. Oh, yeah. I mean, I say that. There's evidence that spoilers actually improve enjoyment, but I do not want to be the one to test that out on an unwilling subject. Sir, how do I get to you? Not that way. And I doubt I can make that jump. I can get there from here. And again, that is an individual choice, Josh. Like, it's fine. It's fine to be fine with spoilers. I still don't think it's fine to be fine with spoilers for somebody else, if that makes sense. I don't want to fight all of you again, because you're all garbage. Same, Gold. I will do what I can to avoid spoilers. Because for me, they do make things less enjoyable. And frankly, the Xenoblade games in particular, frankly, any game with a very strong story focus, it kind of sucks to have that spoiled.
No problem. Thank you, Dunbar.
I think we can do it.
I will say, if you have the opportunity, these are games worth playing completely blind. I literally can't hit this dude.
Let's keep on going.
This is kind of bonkers.
Now.
Let's focus our efforts.
Okay. I'm not doing too well. Now.
Charlotte, you're the healer. Why don't you use one of your 1,000 healing arts? Oh, I agree with you, though. It's not like there's no enjoyment to be had if the story is spoiled. It's just not as enjoyable for me. So this is what happens when the characters can't get to an enemy. They'll just run around for a while and try to, and fail. I just wanted to show that off.
We did it!
Honestly, I love how excited Shulk is about the fact that they did it with the chain attack, even though they did anything. Please. We cannot hit this dude. What is this false? All because I wanted to avoid a fight. At least Buster hits from this room.
Everyone, let's go!
Please, come down here. Your buddy did. Please. Sir, just join me down here. So Charlotte can hit him. Okay. Oh my god. That definitely wasn't worth it. I did that to save time. I am a clown.
I hope you can see me.
Okay. So there isn't another quest here. Ah. I have to go back to the data center. Believe we should be able to get something cool in a moment as well. There we go. An incredibly cool view of the entire city from this tower in its center. You know, I cannot remember how to open these doors. That's frustrating me. I feel like maybe I have to, like, finish these quests to do it. But I'm definitely not going to do that on stream today. I'll either do that off stream, or I'll do it next stream.
Look out!
It's him! Gado!
That's the second time I've sensed an attack without seeing a vision first.
Your mastery of the Monado is astonishing. You cannot be permitted to live.
Gado! Stop! Why are you fighting us? Remember who you are!
It's no good! He's completely under Egil's control now. Remember what Vinaya told us.
I can't believe it. I won't believe it. Gado, please! Answer me!
God, Jadeface is cool.
Beings of Bionic, you and the Monado are history!
I am going to put up some armor. Just because this can be a tough fight. And linear laser, as you can see, does a stupid amount of damage. I keep missing. The block is fine. There's a line there that's a little bit tough to hear. He says, "Suffer as we have suffered," which is an interesting line, which once again basically confirms that Gado isn't in there anymore. That is Egil.
I expect it.
This stuff will take you down!
Time for a chain attack.
Ow!
Steel yourself.
Ow, that was a lot of damage. Let's lower his strength.
My turn.
Okay, and you don't have to destroy
How can
him.
you lay a hand on Charlotte? You're supposed to love her. Marry her even.
I don't know or care. It changes nothing.
No! You always protected me and Juju. This isn't you.
I said I don't know you. I have been granted this body of steel so that Egil's will may be done. This body feels great. Its movement is so precise. We are unstoppable, for we are one. Perfect in body and mind.
You don't have to do this. Look at Fiora. She found herself again. Wherever you are, you must still feel pain.
Absurd.
Well then finish us off. Charlotte and all. We all saw you miss a second ago. Ain't you supposed to be a crack shot? Or did that pile of junk you call a body mess up your aim, eh?
Shut your mouth!
No, he's got a point.
an idiot. That was your last chance.
He's not giving up. The stories about Gaddo of Colony 6 are true.
Except, he still can't kill her. He's missing Charla on purpose.
Gaddo, you're just like I was. You can remember who you are.
Gaddo, please! Don't you remember me? It's Charla!
Wither and die as all life on Bionis will! Feel our wrath!
Shug. Can you still use the Monado?
Fiora? No. You're...
Even after losing all living flesh, Aham's heart will remain. It is still present within this face.
Is that true?
Yes. It is clear from his actions towards you. The remnants of his heart pull him back.
Gaddo.
I will break the curse that allows Egil to control the faces. I need you to buy me some time.
Okay. We'll try. Ryan, we've got to help Fiora. Hey? Come on! Right!
Yeah, unfortunately, he also brings in buddies sometimes.
Let's focus our efforts.
We have suffered!
I'm feeling it.
That's unfortunate.
Take you down!
Holy shit! So yeah, these little ads are not powerful, but they're powerful enough to be a problem.
Lock him up for target!
How good are we? We can definitely do this.
This shot will take you down!
Yeah, and now he's not missing. But
Leave this to me.
the Monado allows us to see
Let's focus our efforts.
and avoid the attack.
This shot will take you down!
We're counting on you. Leave it to me. Against the odds. We choose to fight. Throw some darts.
That's a good chunk of damage.
Okay.
And a ×4 buster. Oh, ho, ho! Oh, that did a lot.
Not bad. I'm feeling it.
This shot will take you down! Who am I?
So there's a very interesting line there. I don't know how clearly you could hear it on the stream. But he says, "Who am I?" And Charla responds, "You are a hero." That is so good. I've never heard that.
We're counting on you. Here I come.
I also love that even after all he's done, what does Charlotte call him? A hero. Because he always was to her, and he always will be. Laser Bullet is a very powerful area of effect attack. which we should be able to avoid by winning the fight.
Fiora? Was that you, or...?
As for him, he'll be fine. Don't worry.
Oh?
Gado!
Forgive me, Sharla.
It's okay. It's all right now. I'm just so happy to have you back.
While I was under his control, I realized something. Egil once wished only to break the circle of suffering. He believed that if blood is spilt now, a new world will be born. But something terrible happened. And now he's consumed with vengeance.
Egil.
Go! Get out of here! Stop them doing what they did to me! To anyone else!
I promise I'll be back for you. Until then, stay safe.
Drink it. You must be thirsty.
Thanks.
Don't go dying on us. After we take Egil down, we'll get you looked at.
You don't look like any doctor I've ever seen.
I know a good doctor nearby. She is Mcconus, though.
It'll do. I'll be right here. Hey, kid. What's your name?
Ryan.
Do me a favor, Ryan. Take care of Sharla.
Seer, what is it?
I have an unpleasant feeling.
A vision?
No, but something is not right. The Mecon are neither attacking nor defending. It is as if they abandoned the fight as soon as it began.
Impossible. This is a key strategic position. They would never abandon it. Perhaps they have forces hidden on Mcconus.
Hidden forces? Could it be? Your Highness, Shulk and the others are in danger. Will you grant me the use of a Havres?
You intend to aid them? I need you here!
I did not have a vision, but nevertheless, I can sense something. The Mcconus is awakening.
Well, that's terrifying. Fiora learns a new art. Final Cross. And next stream, we continue onward. Josh, Ghetto is not super dead now. That is the entirety of what I am willing to say. at this very time, Gatto is alive. Is that not good enough for you? Yes. So as I said, next stream, we are going to be heading forward towards the confrontation with Egil. Thank you all so much for joining me. Hi, Stitch! I don't know how long you've been here, but thank you for being here. And thank you, in fact, for watching. Who should we raid? We normally raid Zaid on a Sunday, and he's streaming Tricky Towers, which I think people like. Lee Belmont is streaming Metroid Fusion, Gam, Deer, and Dan are streaming, and Elfons is streaming. And possibly other people I don't follow. Josh, you know nothing. What are you even talking about? So yeah. So if someone suggests someone we can raid. I cannot raid all of them. I can only raid one. I might actually raid Lee, since everyone's excited about Metroid at the moment, and Lee's a good lad. While we decide, I do want to thank you all for being here, and wish you all a lovely day going forward, whatever time zone you're in. I will be streaming again tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern Time, playing more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Xenoblade Chronicles returns next week Saturday at 5:30 Eastern Time, where we're very much coming towards not the final confrontation, but near the final confrontation of the game. This is what it's all been building to. Shulk versus Egil, Bionis versus Mcconus once more. So yeah, my other streams are Wednesday and Friday. You can check out my schedule channel for that. I think let's raid Lee. I so rarely do, and I really enjoy his stream. 2 months until Dread. Just Lee Belmont. And since this isn't someone in the watch, we're going to go with P grade as our raid message. Just so that they all know who we are. So yeah, thank you for joining me. I'm so excited for what comes next. Those of you who know this game know how very exciting the continuation is. Those of you who don't, oh my god, I hope you stick around, because everything just gets better and better from here. I hope you have a lovely time going forward. Stay cute. Ciao.